Hey all, Hipper here. So today we're looking at the Murmansk, and this is a Russian tier 4 uh, premium cruiser. Now it does cost more than 6,000 steel, and as you can tell we have put an Agile build on it here, because I am on a mission to find or to create Agile cruisers, and we have turret rotation as well, down at the low tiers, because I'm frankly really tired of the higher tiers at the moment. So I purchased this one for steel. I didn't get it. And look at this, 2.8 rudder and 39 knots almost, and a 590 turning radius. This is actually a really good Agile cruiser. There's not much armor there to speak of, but that's the same with any cruiser down here at the tier. And at least with this, you get a pure Agile cruiser at tier 4, right? You go nearly 40 knots, you have less than 3-second rudder, you have torpedoes, you have sonar, and fairly fast firing guns, and it's sort of like a little Minotaur actually. If you squint a bit. No, but at tier 4 this is actually really powerful. And the reason I've bought this ship here and not one of the other clones like the Americans, and there's lots of versions of this ship. It is really an Omaha. But the Russian version here, the steel version, gets the fastest rudder by far. The others can only get down to around 5 seconds, while this one can get down to 2.8. And that's why I'm saying that's what makes it a pure, like a real Agile cruiser. And up until now, that didn't exist at tier 4. It doesn't exist at tier 5 either, but now it does exist at tier 4, and it's fun. I've only played 2 battles in this ship here, but I'm having a great time, and most of that is down to the fact that the players down here at tier 4 are actually better than most players, or the majority of players up at tier 7, tier 8, and especially legendary tier, which you'll see in this battle here, because this is actually a battle that comes like down to the last second of the decider. No one does anything particularly stupid, and people try their best to win. And yeah, some people may play a little bit of overpowered ships here. There's a kamikaze in this game, and I still consider that an absolute travesty to have at tier 4 because it's just so powerful. And if you play kamikaze, in my opinion, you are a bit of a... the word starts with W. Anyway, like I said, you get the whole package here. The ship may be ugly as sin. It's a terribly ugly ship, and some of the guns are casemate mounted. Just gonna keep that destroyer away and keep getting spotted here. And like some of the guns are casemate mounted, which is like ridiculous. But the good thing about this ship that it doesn't really matter which way you point. You're still gonna have plenty of guns on target. You can see how fast my guns are moving as well. I only have 12-second turning here, so it works really well as an Agile cruiser. I have to say that, and especially down here at tier 4, where Agile cruisers are unheard of. Like all the cruisers are always living in total terror of the battleships, and really destroyers are king down here, and battleships are queens. And cruisers are just the peasants. So I only get 1 torpedo actually around the corner there, because for some reason Wargaming decided that there is a reef there that you should just know about. So okay, fine. But anyway, you see how I'm playing it like an Agile cruiser, just like I do at tier 7, tier 8, and legendary tier. Move in, dispose of the destroyers, torp the battleships, and citadel the cruisers. That is your job, and use that sonar. You have the sonar, and it's so useful, especially down here at the lower tiers, where people don't push in, and when you do, you are just king of the castle if you have a sonar on your ship. And of course, some people, they don't really understand the basics of the game, so showing broadside is sometimes more prevalent down here. And also, I don't know what that destroyer there is doing. Yeah, so I understand it's low tiers, and I don't really worry about it. So here, just outturn the torpedoes easily, and whoops, we're showing broadside to a Congo. That's unfortunate. So instead of that destroyer there just sitting there, and obviously right now he has no clue what to do. He's really confused. He could pop a smoke screen, perhaps. I don't know. It's just an idea. So anyway, I'm going to get out of this Congo's way before he reloads, and then I'm going to see if I can, hit him from behind this island here. So you can see the kamikaze is moving over here. There's some torps coming, and I have gone up against that player before, and I know that he's not going to do anything stupid. So I'm going to have to get rid of these bigger ships first before I can actually deal with that kamikaze, because he's not going to show himself. I'm going to have to lure him and catch him somehow, and maybe he is going to show himself, yes, but he's not going to let me sink him. That is absolutely certain. So gotta get rid of the big ships, and then we're going to deal with that kamikaze there, which is the real threat in this game here, because kamikaze would do fine up at the legendary tier. Like, it has like 4 point something concealment, and the torpedoes just reload over and over and over again. It's just a really silly ship, and it's much better than Shimakaze at legendary tier. So yeah, like I said, if you play that ship down here at tier 4, you are really just down here to club some seals, which is something that I don't look at in a particularly light, so to speak. I think it is it's bad sportsmanship, really. This is the tier for, people who aren't particularly good at the game. And just taking a kamikaze out down here, I think, is just ridiculous stuff. Just like taking Hayek out at tier 5 or something like that, where it's just like you're guaranteed to win, basically. So also keep an eye on the team here. I mean, yeah, a lot of people have died fairly quickly here, but it's not like one team is just totally dominant or anything like that. We're down 2 versus 3, and we are very similar on points here, but we are behind. So the only way of winning this battle here is for the battleship to make sure no one caps our cap, and for me to get into the red cap and stop their tickets accumulating, and at the same time keep this pesky kamikaze out. And that should be the way to win. And the good thing is that everyone right now is aware of that. All the players left, they know exactly what's going on. The battleship, he's aware, you will see later. The kamikaze, he knows exactly what's going on here, and he knows exactly what he has to do to win. And here we're just going to use this nice agile turning here to make a fool out of him. And then we're going to head into the cap. Now, the only problem is the cruiser, but there's 2 of them, and hopefully the battleship should be able to remove both of them down there, because they are under pressure. As soon as I get into this cap here, our tickets will start to rise, and I'm going to be able to keep the kamikaze out. I won't be able to sink it, probably, but it puts the pressure on the cruisers to actually move into the blue cap and stop our tickets. But of course, the battleship is guarding our cap exactly like he's supposed to do. I mean, I never see this behavior from battleships at legendary tier, never. At this point, if they're still alive, they are, they're doing ridiculous, foolish stuff that makes you just yell in frustration. But down here, it's actually better. It's actually quite good. So my sonar is running out, so I'm just gonna turn my stern towards where I think this destroyer is, and just hope I survive. But it turns out he's not actually even there. So we are still 50 points behind here, and it doesn't matter that he resets me. I'm not here to actually take the cap, although that would be nice. I am here to stop their tickets accumulating, so it doesn't matter at all that he resets me. Yeah, he gets a little bit of XP for doing that, but what he needs to do is sink me, and obviously that's going to be difficult. So I'm just going to wait for my next sonar to come back. I'm just going to put a few shells around here where I think he is, and it turns out he's actually over there on the right side. And I don't know why he keeps doing this, because you are risking your life doing that, and there's no point doing it, like I said, because this is not about capping, this is about stopping the accumulation of points. But anyway, by all means, sail further away so your torps won't reach. That's excellent. So see how the battleship has removed 1 cruiser? Just fire some torps in case. So that means there's 1 cruiser left, and that cruiser is quite far away from me, so I don't have to worry about him yet. It would be very nice if the battleship had removed that cruiser, but of course I cannot ask for everything here. So what I have to do now, this game here relies on me, right? We are ahead on points now, very nicely, by 50. I've kept, and the battleship removed the cruiser, so that puts us in the front now. So I just have to survive the next 5 minutes under constant kamikaze attack. And speaking of that, I am not completely sure where the ship is right now. So I'm using this island to make sure that he cannot shoot torps the way I'm going to. And you see how it frustrates him there. Haha. So now he's moving down this way here. And that's obviously a problem because there's a lot of open sea out there. And he can just pretty much go anywhere he wants. And I still have a minute left until my sonar comes back. And this guy here reloads in like, I don't know, but it's really, really fast, those torpedoes. So I'm going to have to just go bow in here for a little bit because I'm pretty sure there's torpedoes coming. But again, I don't know where they are. But I know where the destroyer is. So obviously, right, I'm going to point my bow in that direction so it's easier to avoid the torpedoes. Now that's also behavior that you don't see at Legendary tier or tier 7. Like, people are just clueless. And at least down here, you know, this is down to the wire, right? Whoever makes a mistake is probably going to lose this battle here. So anyway, having the cap, like I said, I'm not here to cap the cap. So getting out of the cap is okay. I mean, that destroyer can reset me anytime he wants to anyway, so it's not really that important. The important thing, like I said, is to stop them accumulating points. Because that cruiser is probably homing in on me. That's what I would do, because the battleship is guarding that cap. And look at that, that's so awesome. I love when people actually know how to play the game. So the cruiser cannot take the blue cap, right? So the only thing he can do, and he knows this, he's a smart player, the only thing he can do is go up here and sink me in the red cap. And so I need to accumulate such a buffer that I can be sunk without us losing the battle, right? Because the battleship is not going to be sunk because the kamikaze cannot even make it down to where the battleship is in the time left. So these are thoughts you have to do, like to think all the time when you're playing, and most people don't, I can assure you that. And the reason I'm going this way now is because I don't know where the destroyer is now. So I need this island to put it between myself and the destroyer, and then when I go and spot it, I have an idea of where he is. So he's right there. Okay, excellent. And I was targeted with my ingenious there, so that means that torps are coming probably on the left side of the island, not the right, because it looked like I was gonna go right. So like a little bit of deception here, and the sonar picks up those torps very nicely. And he's still right there somewhere, so we take a shot just to make him know that I know where you are. I didn't expect to hit, but I don't want him to be closer than he is, because he's getting a little bit close to comfort. And I think he knows that my sonar is on now because I spotted those torps. So it's going to be difficult now. So I'm spotted, one guy targeting me, but it's not going to be long before that cruiser gets here. And I need to have, like I said, enough of a buffer that I can survive being sunk, so to speak, or we can survive being sunk. So it's looking really good now. We are, 200 points ahead, and so I can be sunk with no problem now. So of course, the longer I can survive, the better, because why not? So look how smart this guy is here, because obviously the destroyer is spotting me, and there's really not much I can do here. I'm gonna be perma-spotted for as long as I can possibly be alive, and I can't really show broadside to the cruiser, and the cruiser is behind the island, so I can't shoot at it. So I mean, it would be nice to have the battleship up here, but then on the other hand, why? I mean, he's done his duty, he guarded the cap, and that's why the cruiser is up here. And like I said, we are plenty ahead on points, so if I get sunk, it doesn't matter at all, my work is done. And that torpedo has my name on it, unfortunately, and that's the end of me. But the whole point of this video here is that, one, Agile cruisers work beautifully down at tier 4, but there's only one of them, and this is the one, and it's very expensive in steel, so if you're not up for it, I fully understand. But I am, and I put my Makarov to good use down here, and I'm having a great time. The other thing is that when you play a cruiser, you're a support ship. Like you play smart, you do smart things. Of course, if you sink enemies and you cap, that's excellent. But your main purpose is to remove destroyers and support your team really, so they can win. And that's exactly what we have been doing in this battle here. Now we don't have much to show for it. We have one kill. 62,000 damage. That's actually quite a lot at tier 4, I'd say. Few citadels, but only one torp hit. That was unfortunate. I still blame Wargaming for that. But as you'll see in the XP screen here, this is, rewarded handsomely. Because the Agile core, he's got 4 kills. So he's just 1 kill shy of a Kraken. And he could probably have got it right there if he had his guns pointed at the kamikaze. But we outscore him by 500 points simply by playing support, simply by playing smart, play agile, and do your job. So hope you enjoyed the video and play this agile cruiser. See you out there.